Released in 1986, directed by Anthony Perkins, Psycho 3 continues the story that was finished off in part 2 with the death of Norman's supposed mother, the woman that came to him at the end, Mrs. Spool, and when he killed her, reigniting his old bloodlust. This story continues from there. He has used the corpse as his new mother to watch over him as he sinks back into that old routine that he had before.
Why can't you leave my poor son, my Norman, alone?
Of course, we've got a bunch of people coming to stay at the Bates Motel. We have reoccurring characters like the sheriff and like the diner workers who always seem to be there, who are kind of rooting on Norman being rehabilitated, which is kind of nice to see, to be honest. And we kind of see our new sort of main character here of Maureen, a nun who has a crisis of faith. She leaves her place of worship, going out into the world and bumping into Jeff Fahey's Dwayne character. Now, Jeff Fahey is just wonderful in this film. He is a highlight for me because he brings this sleazy attitude to it, really kind of slipping the film into something rather different whenever he's there. He's a character who's rather upfront about who he is. He doesn't kind of have any airs or graces. He doesn't pretend. He just is moving through life, and he's a little bit twisted, a little bit greasy and slimy. But that's the character. The character brightens up this movie immensely. And whenever we go to his sequences, he's got these filters over lights, creating this moody neon glow within there that really harkens back to some of those giallo films that I just utterly love. And then we have the realisation that in this one there's not really much of a mystery. We know Norman is killing people. We know he is the person at the heart of this, or mother aspect of Norman is killing people. But it creates that kind of slasher aesthetic in this one. We go from the more subtle, curated filmmaking that we've had in the previous two films to something a little bit more harsh and abrasive. We get to see the murder sequences. They are bloody and gruesome and violent, and you get to see that in all its glory in this one, as it definitely leans towards more exploitation of short. Giallo, slasher, it starts to pick moments from these, creating it into it. Now, there is some thematics in this that I kind of like and dig into. The whole idea of faith, although I feel it's an almost damning indictment of faith in this one. You know, we have Maureen at the start who Norman is going to kill, but when he gets there, she's already slit her wrists, she's fading away, she isn't seeing properly and thinks that she's seen the Virgin Mary hover over her, and Norman saves her. Bringing her back to health and creating a kind of relationship there, but she thinks that she's been saved by a higher power, and it's that misgiving that ultimately leads to her demise. That constant sacrifice of helping others is going to come back and bite her, which I think is a kind of indictment at certain points of the faith. Maybe I'm just picking up wrong tacks that are there, but Psycho 3 was really kind of fun. We've kind of moved away from, I'd say, like a higher level of filmmaking and skill and storytelling into something that's more familiar, something that is typical of that era, you know, the slasher era, mid-80s. It was all about the blood and the guts and the gore and very little else. But I think for the most part, Psycho 3 is still very enjoyable. I do feel as though it has a really good ending that is undercut by the final sequence, which I just felt kind of robbed that ending of the power that it did actually have. But other than that, Psycho 3, fun. Continued on from Psycho 2. It's still a really solid movie. In fact, these movies in general are better than most other sequels to the kind of classic horror films in my eyes. Let's dive into the disc and have a look at the extras. Let's dive into the extras for Psycho 3. We have 2 commentaries, one by Michael Brook and Johnny Mains, and a second by the screenwriter Charles Edward Pogue. Carnival of the Heart is a visual essay by film scholar Alexandra Heller-Nicholas exploring the idea of the carnivalesque in Psycho 3, recorded exclusively for Arrow Video. This is 11 minutes 17, and she talks a lot about the playfulness of the film and how it really tries to just edge into that kind of comedy, exploitation and extreme aspects of the film that make it such fun. Scream of Love is 15 minutes 10 seconds, and it's an interview with Carter Burtwell as he looks back on his first time scoring a studio movie. This is a new extra as well. It is really kind of fun listening to him talk. His score is fantastic for this. I didn't talk about it in my review, but it's an absolutely epic part of this film. Watch the Guitar is the first of a few archival interviews, this one with Jeff Fahey, which is 16 minutes 49 seconds. He's obviously got a great deal of fun and love for the film. He talks about his audition, getting the role right after Silverado, working with Anthony Perkins. Patsy's Last Night is another archival interview with actress Kat Shea, which is 8 minutes 40. She's talking about how she got the role as well, how she kind of spent a lot of time in some claustrophobic areas as she's locked in an ice box with real ice and not a lot of clothing, while everybody was having fun and shooting scenes outside of her casket. Mother's Maker is an interview with the special makeup effects artist Michael Westmore, which is 11 minutes 12 seconds. He talks a lot about the effects, particularly creating Mother's head that gets destroyed in one of the great scenes in Psycho 3. Body Double is an archival interview with actress Brinke Stevens for a small part in Psycho 3. Again, she talks about how she thought her career was going to go in a different aspect, how she ended up doing this role and just getting it, and how it was kind of shot after the movie was done for additional scenes. The alternate TV cuts is extra material that appeared in the TV cut of Psycho but was not in the theatrical version. Now this is 7 minutes 20 seconds. They've got an alternative opening. They've got a strange scene of our main character walking across the desert with a weird voiceover and just some scenes that were added to pad out the runtime. The original electronic press kit is 7 minutes 20 as well. Basically just trailers, talking heads, talking up the movie. You've got the teaser trailer, which is 50 seconds. You have the theatrical trailer, which is 1 minute 23 seconds. The TV spot, which is 31 seconds. And the image gallery. And that are the extras for Psycho 3. There we have it, Psycho 3. I am looking forward to going on to Psycho 4, which is one that I'm not sure I've actually seen before. Definitely interested in checking it out, and I'll be back with my thoughts on that one. But I would love to know your thoughts on Psycho 3. What did you think of this film? Do you love it, hate it, fall somewhere in the middle? Let me know in the comment box below your thoughts on this one. And as always, there's more content up here. In the description box below are links to the Patreon membership program, manvfilm.com, always in which you can support me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.